Honestly, the first time I tried cottage cheese, I wanted to spit it out immediately, but I have since found the recipes that I really like and go over and over again. And don't worry, I'm not gonna tell you to like make it into ice cream and tell you that that somehow tastes nice. Everyone that says that online, I'm questioning the entire integrity and character, not gonna lie, because ugh, disgusting. But cottage cheese is just so high in protein and low in calories that it's so good for your fitness journey. Like 1 cup of cottage cheese is 23 grams of protein, and I think 100 grams is 98 calories. That's pretty unbeatable. So I go through these cans so much during the week. Let's get into my recipes. Okay, we're making protein pizza, and all we need for the dough is our main star cottage cheese, eggs and flour. Sometimes I put a few spices in the dough already just to like make it nicer. You can use a full bag or full thing of cottage cheese. Then the pizza just for me gets too big because I also like to like add more toppings that are like meat based. So I have more protein, and then the pizza would just like fill me up too much. So I always use like a little bit more of half a thing of cottage cheese. And then we have about 13 grams of protein and 100 calories from the cottage cheese. We use 1 egg. If you use the full thing of cottage cheese, you would use 2 eggs. And then for half a thing of cottage cheese, you would use around 30 grams of flour. I always use my protein shake measurement cups. This one is 15 grams, and then another one would be 30 grams. For the whole thing of cottage cheese with 2 eggs, you would use 60 grams of flour. And I feel like you just need to kind of get a feel for how the consistency should be to get like a good dough. And that's it. Bit of spices in there as well, bit of pepper, salt, and any sort of green Italian herb spice is in there. This is the sort of consistency. So it's like a little bit liquidy, but not too runny, and that's perfect. And if it's like too stiff, you add a little bit of water, and if it's like too liquidy, you just add a little bit more flour. Spread it out nice and thinly. And then it goes in the oven at 200 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. You just see when it's golden brown. Okay. Woo. Camera get all foggy. That looks good. Golden brown like this. Now we do the toppings. Okay, so I'm gonna do a bit of tomato paste. I put some spices in here as well. Super easy. That's about maybe 20 calories. I think it's a gram of protein, but can't really count that. Then we've got about 100 grams of cooked minced beef. I always cook like a lot of minced beef just to have it for like toppings, wraps, salads and stuff. And that is 250 calories and 35 grams of protein on top of our protein dough. Pretty good. And then we'll have some cheese topping. You can use like a light mozzarella, which has less calories. Right now I only have like the 4 queso one. We'll do about like 50 grams of cheese, which is like 173 calories and 12 grams of protein. And here we have our beef protein pizza. Put it back in the oven, maybe another 10-15 minutes or so, then we're done. Pizza time! I'm excited. This pizza is 70 grams of protein and 700 calories. If you use mozzarella light cheese, it will be a little bit on the lighter side of calories, but 700 calories for like a meal that fills you up. This is my main meal today as well. Is okay. And you can't taste the cottage cheese, which is the best thing ever. So let's dig in. Done. Yum. This is one of my favorite go-to meals because it's so easy, it has so much protein, and you don't need to have a lot of ingredients. And you can't taste the cottage cheese because I don't enjoy the taste of cottage cheese itself, but it's just such a valuable high protein ingredient, so we have to make it work. I love that pizza. Let me know if you try it. Another one of my favorites with cottage cheese. I call this a taco bowl, even though the only thing that's taco about it is the minced beef cooked in like the taco seasoning. But I love that. Just like spinach and cherry tomatoes for fiber, a little bit of pesto for like the flavor. And then I add 200 grams of minced beef, half a thing of like cottage cheese, and I add a little bit of honey on top of the minced beef and the cottage cheese. Some people like to add spicy honey. I can't really do spicy, so I add regular honey, and that just like really gives that mix of like sweet of the honey and sour of the cottage cheese, which I really like. And yeah, some people add potatoes to this in form of carbs. I'm trying to eat a little bit leaner at the moment, so I'm not gonna do any carbs. But yeah, another cottage cheese dish. Let's dig in. Yeah, I love this. This is like one of my absolute go-tos. Perfect combination of everything. I filmed my intro last because it was the first time ever since I started this YouTube journey that I kind of like showered and done my hair. So it's like I want to look presentable in at least one of my videos, or at least like the first like 2 minutes. But yeah, one other thing that I do with cottage cheese quite often for like dinner or like a snack is I just like go to the bakery section at like Lidl or Aldi or whatever grocery store you have, get some sort of bread that I like. This one is with nuts and it's so delicious. Then I put some cottage cheese on there. Whoops. And add some honey on top, because honestly, like just the cottage cheese on that bread would be pretty disgusting. It's just like the combination of like sour of the cottage cheese and the sweet of honey, and honestly, like that's not gonna be a lot of calories if you don't go absolutely nuts. And that's like one of my favorite quick snacks. Sometimes I even put like some jam on it, like raspberry or like strawberry jam. Also really good. And got a bit of protein in your snack, super easy to like make. And yeah, those are the 3 things I make with cottage cheese on the regular, like every week probably. If you have any other cottage cheese recipes that are yummy and not ice cream or dessert like, because I've tried those and I just like don't like them, let me know. And if that was helpful, subscribe to my channel. Have a good one. Cheers.